All right, guys. Just wanted to actually go through really quickly uh, a trade that I took here on May 16th. I took it on my Top Step Combine account. I'm trying to get some Express accounts here. I've been dealing mainly with Apex and wanted to kind of scale and go to Top Step as well since they're very reputable. But I came into market today, actually looking at the daily, and I'll leave some of the markings on here because I'm going to go through that. So this is the weekly rather, but we can see that the weekly we started off, obviously down here, no bottom wick, just pure upward movement, for the week. So when I come here on the daily, I also notice that yesterday's candle. I'm going to hide all this stuff really quickly. Yesterday's candle. If you go on the 4 hour, we went down here into this fair value gap, and then we went up. So that's what you see here. Down to the fair value gap, and then up. So I was really trying to anticipate maybe a move down here that would go up to then take these highs, since the last thing we did was create, some bullish movement. I thought we were just going to keep going up. But then I thought to myself, it's Friday, right? It's the end of the week. So I doubt that we just keep going up. Like, we have to sell off at some point. And we're also in this gap here, all the way up here. This is a area that is responsible for breaking these lows with this movement down. So I'm not saying that it's going to keep us here, but, I was expecting a reaction. So I was like, okay, maybe I should start looking for whatever presents itself. So when I went on the 4 hour, when I started trading, I always start trading the 10 a.m. 4 hour PL3. So the 6 a.m. candle gave us this. It came up, respected this wick here, and you can see the 50%. We touch into the wick here, we touch in there here, and it's respected. We closed all the way down here. So with that being said, I knew that I was basically going to be playing just price pulling back up into this wick of the 6 a.m. candle, and then probably pushing downward below. Okay, I didn't expect it to. I wasn't expecting it to come all the way down here or anything like that, but at least to take these little lows here. Okay, so as I put my drawing back up, and I actually put this, I put this in my Discord, my free Discord. I gave everyone in there, my bias for the day, and this is exactly what I had up here. 10 a.m. candle to hit the wick of the 6 a.m. candle, right? To give a move lower. I also could see price going up, right? Because what we talked about earlier. So I would tread lightly. So my whole idea was to take the sell, maybe down to Asia lows, because this is a nice, candle that presented itself to show that maybe we didn't want to move higher. Looks like a failure swing to me. So these lows are definitely some good targets. So when we go to the 15-minute though, this is where things get a little bit more specific, right? So here on the 15-minute, I noticed a couple of different things, right? I have my midnight open, 10 a.m. open, because I always want to make sure price manipulates above 10 a.m. before giving us that distribution down. So I also noticed that, 8:30 NY were all the way up there. So I really, I always like to at least try to get everything aligned to where, price maybe is above all those before I sell. But, I'm okay with at least getting two. And in this case, if I'm above midnight, above 10 a.m. and Asia lows never were taken yet, I'm okay with going for that, especially on a Friday. All right. So when we go down to the 5-minute, actually on the 15-second here, I'll actually show you guys this really quickly. It's my little Discord. I actually took a quick buy, break even right here, but I took a quick buy on the 15 seconds in order to play the move up. So then I'm going to show you where this was at. So this was in this stuff here. Okay. If you go on the 1 minute, can see price was consolidating, but it was creating these failure highs here, right? Equal highs nearly. And you have to keep in mind, I was anticipating price to go up into the wick. Where's the wick at? This box. All of this is the wick that we're playing in. Let me go back to the 4-hour to show you guys, right? Remember, we're anticipating price to come up here into this wick, respect it, and drop lower. So I'm expecting, when I came here at 10 o'clock, I'm expecting us to go above at 10 a.m. open and manipulate and hit that wick to drop further. So that's exactly what we got on that first buy I took. Okay. So then going into the real move, I took the real move on the 5-minute because it gave me a cleaner change in the state of the delivery. All right. So this is the biggest thing about this, right? What we see here is what? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Okay. So that's all Power 3 is. That's all this is. Okay. So very simple trade today. I entered obviously right on the candle closure of this one. Sometimes, I like to play the pullback into the fair value gap, but you just don't get that a lot of the time. So I've been okay with just taking that. So I risked 43.5 points to get 87, I believe. Yeah, 87.50. So really, really good trade to close out the Friday. Make sure you guys join me on my Discord as well. Link in the bio. As you can see, I called this out before it even happened. So if you're trying to stay in line with the market, you're interested in the 4-hour PL3 and just understanding open high, low close, or open low, high close. These are things that I go over, and I make sure that the people in my Discord that are looking to trade daily are at least aware of what to expect and what to go over. As you can see here, I also had the target up here because I knew that there's a potential that maybe we can sweep these lows and then go up here. Not really likely given it's a Friday, so I wasn't really leaning on that. That's why I took this setup more so. But I always just like to have things marked off just in case. All right, but that's about it, guys. Follow, make sure you subscribe, comment. I'm going to be doing free webinars and things of that nature here pretty soon. So I look forward to showing you guys more awesome content. But until next time.